So you're thinking about moving to Kent
or Renton.
Well, stick around because in this video we're going to do a little compare and contrast on what it's like to live in Kent versus Renton, so you can get kind of a better idea of where you want to make the move if you're going to be making the move here soon. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this. We're going to get after it right now.
Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know all there is to know about living in King County, Washington, or places like Renton and Kent, like we're talking about today, then hit the subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications. That way you can be the first to be notified of a new video of one of our other favorite cities here in King County. I'm Brad Decatur, this is Derek Decatur, we're the Decatur home team, and we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every day who are looking to make their move to King County. So whether you're 1 day or 1 year away, we'd love to help you make a smooth move. All the contact info is below, so check that out. Let's dive in. So Renton versus Kent, you know, both big cities, a lot going on in both of them. So yeah, we're gonna talk about location, things to do, price points, like cost of living type stuff, and school districts. So
yeah, no, I mean, like we were just talking about, you know, very similar areas, and I think if you sit there and if you're looking at the Issaquah area, like you end videos, if you're looking in Issaquah, you're probably looking at Sammamish and Bellevue, and those are similar. Right. If you're looking in Renton or if you're looking in Kent, I mean, very, very similar cities, huge cities. Housing prices are similar. We'll talk about kind of how that changes as you move through those cities. But when you think about Renton and Kent, I just think that Renton's probably a little bit closer than most things. You know, Kent's a little bit farther away. You're a little bit farther south. Yep. And then I think housing prices are a little bit different as you go farther south.
Yep. So. And a few other things too. So what we'll hit, let's do location. So location, yeah, Renton is going to be a little bit closer to your Bellevue. Yep. It's almost bordering it there. So closer for 405 and I-90. Kent's a little bit farther down, but if you're someone who's working in Tacoma, Kent could be better, but I think location-wise, Renton's going to be more central to like what's really happening and where the most of the jobs are, which is Seattle and Bellevue.
Agreed. Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, what else we got? How about, so things to do. We'll do things to do next.
Things to do, yeah. I think definitely you went out in Renton. Renton's got the landing. It's got you know, Renton Highlands. There's lots of other there's quite a few activities you can do. You've got Lake Washington right there as well. I think Renton's going to win out on things to do outside. Renton's going to win out on maybe your nightlife activities, not nightlife, but your restaurants, your shopping centers.
Yeah, I think the landing is basically going to be a nicer center for all that than the Kent, you know, ones. They have definitely shopping and stuff to do in Kent as well. But yeah, I think Renton would be a little bit better. The landing specifically is going to be better.
The landing's got a lot. Yeah, I love the landing actually.
As far as
I almost moved to the landing.
Landing's awesome. Then downtown comparisons, like downtown Renton, downtown Kent. You know, downtown Kent's not the best area for a few reasons. Downtown Renton also not as good as some of the other areas in Renton.
Sure. But I think you win out in Renton in terms of safety and upkeep. Yep. Renton's going to look a little bit better, feel probably a little bit safer as well.
Yep, for sure.
So, cool. How about pricing?
So Renton's going to be more expensive than Kent. It's not like super significant, but it really depends on what area of each of them that you're in. Renton, the Highlands area is a little bit more expensive. The Issaquah side is a little bit more expensive, and then downtown not so much. Fairwood kind of the middle. And then Kent just kind of gets more cheaper as you go farther down. The downtown Kent is pretty cheap, so I think downtown to downtown Kent is going to be more cheap. But then you have Lake Meridian.
Lake Meridian.
Lake Meridian, so that towards Covington, a little bit nicer area, more expensive. But yeah, on average, definitely, Renton's going to be more expensive than Kent.
Yeah, and I think like most cities and most states, as you get farther away from the central hub, prices will tend to decrease. Yep. And that's exactly what we are seeing. That's the story between Renton and Kent in my mind.
Yep, definitely.
You know, so cool. School districts. School districts. I mean, both these places are so huge that it really does depend on the pocket. I mean, like with anything, but even more so, I think with these two, there's a couple of schools, you know, up near the Newcastle side in Renton that are going to be vastly different than maybe in downtown Renton, and same thing in Kent as well. But if we were to take an overall picture and look at the scores, Renton's going to win out over Kent in terms of school districts.
Yeah, I would say Renton would win. Renton also has the Issaquah School District, kind of a sliver there on the right side. So Yeah, Renton's going to be better than Kent, but again, yeah, they're both huge areas. So really, if I was someone who was considering the two of them, and school was the important part of my decision making, I'd probably just be checking the specific schools that my kids are going to, like the actual school, because the district, I mean, there's just so many out there.
Yeah, you'd have to look at the lines for each school for sure.
But if we're giving it a score, Renton would be winning against Kent as far as school districts go.
Yep.
One thing we don't usually talk about, you actually mentioned it, but we weren't planning on it, was I guess like safety and crime and stuff like that.
Sure.
So downtown in either of them isn't like super amazing, but I would say Kent is definitely worse.
Yep.
So Kent downtown, not so good as far as like that goes, safety goes. Once you get in the neighborhoods on either of them, I'd call them similar. Like if you're in Lake Meridian Country Club, it's a private drive.
Yeah.
And then Renton, Highlands, and the Issaquah side, they're both going to be safe. The downtown's not so much, but I think Kent overall would be a little bit worse.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't think we're getting into obviously downtown Seattle, but
no.
But yes, when we're comparing Renton and Kent, I would agree that Kent is going to be a little rougher around the edges in downtown.
A little rougher in Kent. Yeah.
So yes.
Yep.
Very, very similar. Like if if you are looking for that price point, a lot of options between Kent and Renton.
Yep. And because they're so big, it might be location dependent.
Specific,
because if you're depending on where you're working, because
True.
you can have a half-hour different commute between Fairwood and Renton, like where it borders Kent, to like the almost Newcastle border of Renton.
Sure.
Like it's big. Kent, same thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit. If you have more questions, we definitely know the areas pretty well, so reach out, hop on the call. All the info is below. We can help you make your decision. And if this is your first time to the channel or first video, then check out our playlist. If you're interested in Renton and Kent, you're probably interested in some other of the surrounding areas. So we have them all identified in playlists in the channel here. So you can click and kind of walk through the cities that you're interested in learning about to help educate yourself and make your decision.
Give a like, comment.
Yeah.
Let us know.